TV. And if you've watched Shark Tank and thought, man, I got a great idea, I'd love to be on that, can't help you there, but I can help you get your good idea, at least into an event that's one of its kind here in Mississippi, happening on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And joining us to tell us a little bit more is the owner and operator of the meeting place. Hey, Giovanna.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you?
Geneva, sorry, I got it wrong. Miss Geneva, I'm doing well, and I'm super excited about this. We have had Innovate Mississippi and all kinds of pitch opportunities on before, and so anytime there's an opportunity to get entrepreneurs the chance to put their big ideas in front of folks, I always like to spread that word. So what's happening on the Mississippi Gulf Coast?
So we are one of 8 regional partners in Innovate's Co-Builders Accelerator program. So our regional pitch competitions actually serve as preliminary filters, if you will, for people who are invited to participate in the Co-Builders Accelerator, which happens a little bit later after all of the regional pitch competitions are done. So if you don't participate in one of these regional pitch competitions, you do not get into Co-Builders. So this is step 1 for people.
And they need to know that. But what if they're thinking, Ms. Geneva, that, man, my idea is just not ready, or how far along in the process do I need to be? You know, what is your thoughts to them?
I would say fill out the application, because you just never know nobody has the faith that they really should have. Some people are overconfident. I will give them that. But most people will always underestimate themselves. We've always got imposter syndrome, right? Oh, it's not good enough. Nobody wants it. It's never going to go anywhere. Stop it. Fill out the application and let us tell you where you need to go from here. And I call everybody personally to either tell them the good news that they've made it into the cohort this year, or here's why you didn't get in. Fix these things, apply again next year, and meet us at our Connect meetups every quarter to learn more about how to get where you need to be for investors to really want to dig into your idea.
So it sounds like, even as you mentioned, step 1 would just be shake off the nerves, because the worst thing, Ms. Geneva, you're going to tell them is not this year, right? Like maybe it's not where it needs to be, and that could be just what you need to hear to send you in the right direction. So, or it may be, hey, welcome, you are far enough along in your idea to go to the next step, which would be remarkable.
Yes, and this is not the major league pitch-in. This is where the minor leagues happen. So we want people who are new to this process.
And the application form, where can they find that?
That is available on my website. It's also on cobuilders.ms, which is the Co-Builders website. I think if they just add a / and apply, it'll get them to all of the regional pitch opportunities that exist right now, because it may be, since you're statewide, there's one that's closer to them that they may want to participate in. Mine is all virtual, so a lot of times people who don't get into one in another location, they will come apply for mine, and they can participate no matter where they are in the state. So Co-Builders is probably the best place to go. Of course, my Facebook page, the Meeting Place MS, I have multiple posts about it, and they all link to the application. And if all else fails, call me.
It's a good old way to sort of get through, because you have from now until the 26th. So the application process has been open for a little while. So you probably expect some folks to get in there, last minute. Is the application long and lengthy? Is there a lot of things that they need to sort of think through, or is it something they can say, you know what, I'm going to get off my butt today after listening to good things, get on there and fill it out?
Everything that's on the application, I think the whole thing should probably take them maybe 20 minutes at the most, and most of the information they will have top of mind.
Okay, and if they get called back, what happens next for them, Ms. Geneva?
So I host an accelerator, kind of a mini accelerator, before the actual pitch competition on May 31st. So we have pitch practice before we are pitch perfect, hopefully. And that's every Friday through the month of May from 1 to 3. And you also are assigned a mentor, so you're not just doing this by yourself. You have somebody who's been in business for a while, and they are used to what investors are looking for, helping people assess what's important, what's not, getting the right information in that slide deck, so that when you give the competitive version of your pitch, you are giving people, the judges, the information that they need. And I also have 2 practice judge rounds as well. So the final competition is not the first time they'll see the judging, and they will also get feedback in the form of the scorecards that will be used at the final competition as well.
So, Ms. Geneva, if businesses or entrepreneurs or someone with a great idea is listening and they're thinking, well, I don't have new technology, or I haven't come up with a great new, whatever to take place of, I don't know, I'm trying to think off the top of my hand from Shark Tank. What kind of businesses or entrepreneurship are you guys sort of like looking for? Does it run the gamut, like anything that's just new and creative?
It does run the gamut. What they're looking for with respect to Innovate Mississippi is it needs to be marketable and it needs to be scalable. And that means that people need to want it and you have to be able to grow it. So I have a really nice video at the beginning of the application. So when you click on the apply here, it says to watch this video. It's a little lengthy, but it's Tony Jeff himself telling people what Co-Builders is designed for. And so that is a really great overview of what Innovate is looking for. Like I said, if you're at all on the fence, fill out the application. I'll tell you what's going on.
So have you gone through this process, Ms. Geneva, with the meeting place, or how did you get connected with Innovate Mississippi?
So when we first started this 3 years ago, we were all volunteer. Not Innovate, they were getting paid, but I volunteered to come in and run the pitch competition down here. And I just really enjoy giving people the opportunity to learn how to speak intelligently, comprehensively, and succinctly about their business idea, because if you ramble, you lose people's interest. If you don't get to the point, people will move on, and they're not going to give you a second thought. So I just love helping people effectively communicate.
So what is your business? You're the founder of the meeting place there on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. What do y'all do when you're not trying to help out with the pitch competition? What are y'all doing on a daily basis?
Well, this is kind of what I do. I'm a business incubator, and I'm also a shared office facility. So we operate like a gym, but instead of working out, you're working.
I love that. So, I mean, if someone just needs a business place for a meeting of 2 or a meeting of 20, is there, kind of give us the rundown of the meeting place. Oftentimes folks are looking for that spot that's not their home office.
So I have membership levels, but I also have drop-in rates as well. So if you need a place to get together for pretty much anything, I mean, I don't do the birthday parties and that kind of thing. It's more about business. But if you need a place to sit down with somebody and be productive, this is the place you need to be.
So if you're listening and maybe you're not ready for the pitch, maybe you could at least go to the application and just look and say, I know there's some loose ends, or really start thinking it through, and I'm inspired. Ms. Geneva, is that something they could call you and just start working on? So maybe for the 2025 pitch, competition, they would be better suited?
Yes, so there's a couple of ways that we can interact. I host connect meetings, entrepreneurs and investors all together quarterly. And if you watch my Facebook page, that's where I'm most active. But we have a meetup group as well. Also, we have some great free resources here all over the state. So Innovate Mississippi has counselors that you can talk to about your idea, and they help guide you through the process. And, of course, they're extremely familiar with this process. And also the small business development centers are your best friend. You get a free business counselor to go through all aspects of starting a business. And when I was counseling with them, I would tell people, look, I'm either going to help you avoid one of the greatest mistakes you're going to make or help you make one of the best decisions you'll make. So it could go either way, but I would highly recommend, and I share the SBDC contact information and Innovate's contact information with people on a daily basis. Those 2 resources right there will get people where they need to go.
It's still possible to have your American dream as an entrepreneur, even in this sort of weird climate?
It is. Don't give up.
Don't give up. At least apply. So that's what I'm hearing today. I'm hearing today, if this at least inspired you, go look at the application, see if you're a good fit. If you're not, then just step back and still contact you, Ms. Geneva, and figure it out for next year, or find out the right pitch place in your part of Mississippi, because you are in the 6 counties on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Absolutely. And if you're just thinking about starting a business, call the Small Business Development Center and get on the line with the business counselor and let them help you figure out whether or not it's right for you.
All righty. Well, I appreciate your time, Ms. Geneva, and all you're doing there on the Gulf Coast for entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
All righty. You guys stick with us. We got more for you up next.